Yep, giving love out to the equalizer. And for those of you that may not be familiar, in my opinion, just my opinion, the EQ was there to enhance the sound and give you deeper lows. It could also give you higher highs. It could bring out the mid-range. It could just do a little bit more than just the volume control knob, you know? So peace and love goes out to my DBX 1020 EQ and everybody else that that still uses them. They'll forever have a place and still do in most studios. You know what I'm saying? I am the Lord of the Loop, the Baron of the Blend. And if you dig RONNIELAWS, you can certainly be my friend. To my back, he had his most popular hit under his name. And this was also the name of his 1980 release, which was Everygeneration. Put out on United Artists, but before we get into that, of course, he is a saxophonist extraordinaire, hailing from a family of 8 children, and he happens to be the 5th. Peace and love goes out to Deborah, Eloise, and Hubert up in there, of course, as well. And in my opinion, this dude is one of the saxophonists that set it off for the jazz funk era. So for me, and this is only my opinion, RONNIELAWS, Wilton Felder, and Grover Washington are the cats that really kicked it off. Now, no disrespect to anyone else. There were a lot of saxophonists on the scene. But to me, when it came to that jazz funk and really kicking down the doors, going into the more commercial side of it, those were the guys. Also, Ronnie was an early member of Earth, Wind & Fire during the Last Days and Times release, primarily known for his Friends and Strangers, Always There, a club classic that has been done so many different ways. Of course, this track right here, again, which was his most popular release, I think it stayed on the charts for like 17 weeks and peaked at number 12 on the Billboard R&B. And then, of course, Tidal Wave, which found a resurgence later on being sampled. And I want to say he is probably more known for, if you didn't know, for the vocals, he was known for doing very special with his sister, Deborah Laws. He was the dude singing on there, and he was also the sax that was kicking on that thing. All right. Again, 1980 United Artists. The hit single was the joint that I just rocked, back with the instrumental on the B-side. Also had Young Child, which was a single with Tomorrow's the B-side, Love's Victory, back with As One. And my favorite is this joint right here. Yeah. And this is Thoughts and Memories. And Ought to Be a Law was cool too. OTBA, that was nice. Really, the whole thing was very nice. Peace and mad love goes out to his partner, William Jeffrey, or his co-defendant. They put out a whole bunch of dope stuff together. Yeah. Of course, back in those days, these cats were, even though they were pushing 200,000 and 300,000 units, they didn't get no Grammys, they didn't get no love, they didn't get a gold, they didn't get anything, but it was very popular. And again, moving mad units. So a Goddammy Award winner recipient he is. Thank you, Ronnie. Produced by him and William Jeffrey, again, his co-defendant. For Little Brother Productions, Nate Phillips killing that bass. Hubert Laws on the flute on some of this stuff. And he had a plethora of keyboard maestros with Larry Dunn, Barnaby Finch, Ronnie Foster, Bobby Lyle, Patrice Rushen, and Joe Sample. Oddly enough, he had my girl on here doing her harp thing with Dorothy Ashby. And then we had, hold on, stay right there for a minute. We had Dorothy Ashby doing her harp thing, Pat Kelly on guitar. The incomparable Alex Brown, she's done so much background vocal work. Mickey Howard, this was probably an at-home production / side effect / Wayne Henderson connection. She did background vocals on it. Peace and love goes out to her. His sister with her fine ass, Eloise Laws, and Gene Thompson on background vocals. The orchestral concert master was William H. Henderson, recorded at Davlin Sounds, Jennifuti Sound, and Indigo Ranch, which was well known. Engineers Chris Brunt, design graphics Red Ranch, mastered by Chris Perry. And again, y'all, everybody had a hand in the creative and collective space of putting this thing together, and it all made something beautiful, so everyone gets credit. As we continue, sleeve illustration is John Likes, again mastered by Chris Perry. The cover art is Bill Burks, and the photography is Tom Gibson. The notables and oddities for me, the album itself peaked on number 4 on the Billboard R&B charts. Like I say, the single topped out at number 12, which is quite impressive for someone that's more so in the jazz funk vein than the R&B vein. And if you'll look to my side here, the album inner sleeve is the same as the front cover art for We Are the World. So we know the illustrator here, John Likes, he cashed in and made some loot on that thing. Hell, he still might be eating off of that one. One of the last, and this album was one of the last recordings for the United Artists label that we are mostly familiar with. So the label itself, or the one that I have, has like the orangey, pinkish, tan, rainbowy background to it. But most of the stuff that is known for United Artists during the era where they were kicking ass was a tan background. All right. I think they were bought out by EMI maybe the year after that, and then they pretty much shut down the label or merged it, is my understanding. And also, and this is just a notable for me, he released an album with his band called Pressure. Dope ass project, all right? It's a pressure cooker on the front of it. And this was released prior to Every Generation, so it's telling you at that time my man was hella hot doing this thing. And of course, it sounds just like a RONNIELAWS effort, but it's released under the group name of Pressure. Funky as hell, and definitely check that out. That is out on the streaming platforms as well, in addition to physical copies too. All right. Be sure to follow this brother on his Facebook page, RONNIELAWS, Instagram, The Real RONNIELAWS, and that Twitter, aka X thing with INL_RONNIELAWS. This too is available on the major streaming platforms with physical copies as well, to include LPs, CDs, and cassettes on that joint. As always, salute to the gatekeepers of the groove, in which we have no affiliation at all. But anyone that's down for respecting the music, we are down with you. All right. Be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe, give us comments. Music is for sharing. My name is Art Appreciation. Respect the rhythm and rock on.